You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
Thanks for staying with 11 Alive Morning News. It is Thursday, October 19th.
Time now is 6:47. For the next 11 minutes, we'll have nonstop coverage on everything you need to know to start your day. We're getting a look at what happened before a man was shot by a coastal Georgia deputy during a traffic stop. We'll walk you through what video reveals about the death of Leonard Cure.
During this Domestic Violence Awareness Month, an event in Metro Atlanta is remembering victims and survivors.
We are starting off with temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning, and clouds are on the increase. But despite those clouds, temperatures will be mild this afternoon. I'll let you know how mild coming up.
We begin your 11 minutes of nonstop news with new video released of a traffic stop where a coastal Georgia deputy shot a man.
53-year-old Leonard Cure died. He was exonerated in 2020 after serving more than 16 years in prison.
Ariana Manish joining us now. Ariana, the full video is so hard to watch.
And Aisha, it's why this morning we're just showing portions of that video. Leonard Cure was pulled over, accused of going 100 miles per hour along Interstate 95 near the Georgia-Florida state line. The video begins silently as Cure's truck drove past a Camden County deputy's vehicle, followed by the deputy flipping on his light to pull him over.
Behind your back. Do I have a warrant? Wait. No. Excuse me. Either put your hands behind your back.
The Camden County deputy, whose name has not been released, orders Cure to step to the back of his truck. The deputy calls in a non-compliant situation on his radio, requesting backup. The deputy then deploys his taser.
Hands behind your back. Yes, you're going to jail.
As Cure was stunned, the deputy continued to order Cure to put his hands behind his back. A struggle begins. The deputy reaches for his baton. Shortly after, the deputy pulls out his gun and shoots Cure. Cure was not armed. Now, we do want to point out that law enforcement did start rendering aid to Cure until 4 minutes after he was shot. Now, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is now looking into his death, and we also heard from his family, and we have their reaction on our website, 11alive.com. Back to you.
Thank you, Ariana. Georgia's Housing Choice Voucher Program is open right now. It helps people pay rent. More than 125,000 people have already applied for the wait list, and you can apply for about 30 more hours. This is the first time in 2 years families can get on the Housing Choice Voucher wait list. There is such a demand that some people are having trouble getting through. Officials say if you've had trouble, just try again.
The fact that so many families coming out of COVID have seen cost increases and are really struggling to pay that rent on a month-to-month basis. We knew the demand would be high.
13,000 people will be randomly selected to join the wait list. You have until Friday night at 11:59 to get your application in. Right now on 11alive.com, we have a link to the website where you can apply and all the details about who is eligible.
And I'm Liza Lucas. New this morning, listen up if you believe your SNAP benefits have been stolen in the past year. Georgia Department of Human Resources sharing the steps to take to get that money back. Now, SNAP recipients who believe they are victim of card skimming, card cloning, or similar fraud need to request a new EBT card and PIN. You can do that by calling the number on your screen, 1-888-421-3281. And you also want to complete the request for replacement form and submit it to DFACS. Now, the rollout of Georgia's plan follows concerns of fraud happening across the country. Congress actually required states come up with a plan to replace stolen benefits as part of the federal spending law that was passed last year. Now, there are some deadlines you need to follow depending on when your benefits were stolen. One of those deadlines less than a month away. So we're getting this info up for you on 11alive.com.
Liza, thank you. And that was a look at your top headlines.
All right, Chesley, starting off the day pretty mild.
Yes, we are. Temperatures in the 50s in some spots, like Atlanta at 52. Gainesville the same. Those are the warm spots. You had 50 in Athens. You got 44 over toward Carrollton and down toward Peachtree City. So those are cool spots this morning, even cooler than up here to the far north. Here's your what to wear forecast for today. I'm going to say start off with the jacket, of course. By this afternoon, you may unzip it like the young lady there in the picture. 72 degrees will be your afternoon high temperature with increasing clouds. So we'll wind up being partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, but on the mild side with 72. That's not bad. Notice the front back off. Well, the front itself is back off to the west of us, but the rain ahead of it heading up to the Memphis area now. Doesn't look all that impressive, but we'll continue to slide over toward the east. A lot of that falling apart, but could bring a few isolated sprinkles, I'd say at best, to the North Georgia mountains, maybe even as far south as the metro area, but again, sprinkles. Most of us will stay on the dry side from this. That front stationary right now, but will become a cold front and make its way over toward the east and bring in a better chance for the clouds and the rain, especially during the wee hours of the morning. That's the timing for it right now. A clap of thunder or two certainly not out of the question, and that's what we have here. This light green shade just means a general threat for thunderstorms. We are not anticipating any severe weather to be around at all. We'll give it a 50% chance, mainly during the early morning on Friday. Once we get to the afternoon, that clears out. The latter half of the day will be dry with some sunshine. We'll hold on to the sunshine for Saturday. Sunday, a few high thin clouds rolling in, but still dry as we head into Monday as well. Here it is, our forecast track model. You can follow along with me with the time right there at the top of the screen. It shows the clouds increasing to partly cloudy skies by this afternoon, mostly cloudy skies by the time you're driving home around 4 or 5 o'clock. That's where we could see an isolated shower or two. The steadier rain coming in after about 3 o'clock in the morning. We will have some embedded thunderstorms in one or two of these. Again, not too much to write home about, but this will stick around at least through about 6 or 7 o'clock before it moves out of the way. Notice the drying that takes place by the afternoon. This is by noon. Start to see those clouds fade away, get the sunshine in for the latter half of the day, and then we'll hold on to it as we head through the rest of the weekend as well. A nice weekend on tap. An 11 on Saturday, 10 on Sunday. Temperatures back into the 70s after starting off in the 50s, and we'll continue that trend as we head through the work week next week.
We continue your 11 minutes of nonstop news with headlines beyond Metro Atlanta. We've learned the Biden administration plans to submit around a $100 billion funding request to Congress. That includes an estimated $40 billion in aid to Israel. This as the fighting continues in the Middle East. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said limited humanitarian aid would be allowed in Gaza after requests came in from Biden. And head on the Today Show team coverage from the northern border of Israel as the fighting intensifies. The Natalee Holloway case is one that has been plaguing the minds of Americans for nearly 2 decades. And this morning we now have answers on what happened to Natalee, and so does her mom.
I think the not knowing is worse. You know, the knowing is shocking. You brace yourself, you take the hit. But the not knowing is the never-ending nightmare, and that's worse.
Coming up on Today, they're sitting down with Natalee's mother following her killer's confession. The fiance of a Coweta County mother who went missing is now indicted on murder charges. It is an update on a case we have been following for over 2 years. Tiffany Foster disappeared from Noonan in 2021. Just 2 months ago, police arrested and charged her fiance, Reginald Robertson. The indictment we've got our hands on also shows a second suspect charged with concealing Foster's death.
Continuing your 11 minutes of nonstop news with a look at what's happening around the metro today. In DeKalb County, bringing awareness to domestic violence, remembering lives lost, and celebrating survivors. It's happening at Decatur Square at 7 tonight. There'll be a candle lighting ceremony, speakers, and music. It's the 32nd annual Candlelight Vigil in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And today, thousands of students in Metro Atlanta will take a pledge against gun violence. About 52,000 kids across our area will pledge to do their part to keep our communities safer. The Day of National Concern started with a presidential proclamation in 1996. A national group of mothers who lost children to gun violence started the movement. Also today, Hosea Helps starts their service kickoff and Great Turkey Drop-Off. They're having an event from 11 to 2 at their headquarters on Forest Hills Drive. Hosea Helps will share more about their holiday plans, and you can find more details right now online.
Taking a live look at the world's busiest airport, where Atlanta-based Delta Airlines is backtracking on some changes it recently made to the SkyMiles loyalty program. A lot of customers complained about this one. The airline now plans to lower the spending threshold for frequent flyers to hit certain reward levels. This is going to allow people who have accumulated millions of flight miles to earn a higher status. Delta has also eased off on some of those limits to the airport lounge access, which will benefit frequent flyers who travel for work. Good morning, Chesley.
Good morning. This afternoon, we're going to see clouds increasing. So we're looking at partly sunny skies by the time we hit noon today. Temperatures right around 65 degrees. On our way to 72. It's going to be a mild afternoon despite the cloud cover out there. There's a possibility for an isolated sprinkle or two, especially between 5 and 6 o'clock. For the most part, we'll just have the mostly cloudy skies. Going to see things clear out by Friday afternoon. In fact, we'll get some sunshine in here before it sets on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, very nice. Mostly sunny skies both days with temperatures in the 70s. Enjoy it. That will continue next week. Crash?
All right, Chesley, going to leave you with one traffic hot spot. That's your alert. 285 northbound, the wreck at La Vista Road, basically off to the right, not bothering anybody except the delays built all the way back up to Memorial Drive. I'll get you that update at 7:26.
Have you picked out your Halloween costume? We got you covered. Google says this year's most popular costume will be Barbie, with princess costumes. Coming in at number 2, Spider-Man in 3rd. Some honorable mentions include cowboy, a witch, and ninja costume.
You're going to have a princess at your house?
Yeah, with a glittery dress.
Okay.
What
That's
about you?
messy but fun.
My lady friend's going to be the Little Mermaid, and I'm going to be the Gordon's fisherman trying to catch her.
Chesley?
That's good. That's good. I'll be a meteorologist as always.
Why did we ask
Well,
him?
my friend,
Oh
you
my
were well.
gosh.